Hello, good morning. Dad, I wanted to talk about the fact that I personally had asthma for all my life. Like my parents, I think, told me that I developed it when I was like 2 years old, and I was like always a sick kid. Always had like allergies, always had like all these like stuff, right? And I had I've been a lot of time in the hospitals, I think, especially when I was a kid. Like I didn't go to school for like a couple years even, right? And I always had asthma, and it's like you meet people with asthma who claim they have asthma, but like I had like asthma, like I had this salbutamol, this this pump, and like at a certain point, I've been using it so much every day that it stopped working for me. And I was like always fearing in the back of my mind, like, oh my God, like, what if, because, dude, I've been using it, like, and I mean, but people with asthma, they all understand. This shit is not for daily use. Like, it's not for like you just clicking it, right? It's a drug, and it has effects. And at a certain point, the more you use, the more resistance your body will kind of form. So I mean, I'll just show, right, this guy, right? So like, and I've been using it through my whole life because like, again, my parents never cared that much. Like they tried, right? But it's like they never kind of followed through, and I was like always afraid to kind of actually tell them, like, whatever. It was a difficult dynamic there. So I'm just saying that like nothing helped. Nothing helped. Nothing helped throughout my childhood, throughout my teenage years. Like I was just a kid with this fucking thing. I couldn't run. I couldn't do sports. And I mean, I wasn't always I never was an active kid of sorts. Like I never was like a sport guy doing sports. Like that never was there. That never was on the table. So I guess like not necessarily like one leads to another, but like one complements another. So yeah. So I'm like 27 right now, and so like till this particular moment, I've been using it. Like I had to buy like this thing like every month. And I mean, I don't want to like do my maths here complex, but it's like it has 200 doses. So if I use it like thrice a day, what is it? Like I have to use like a lot of it every day, like 6 times, right? A day on average for it to be over within a month. That's not good. That's not good at all, actually. That's just not good. And every time I would try to go to a hospital or like to some other, doctors or whatever, and they would always ask like, "Oh my God, dude, how much are you using this like inhaler?" And I would always lie because like, and even the lying numbers, they would still be like, "What the fuck?" Like if let's say I would use 5 times per day or like 7 times per day, because again, it's not like I was dying, like wheezing, dying, couldn't breathe. It's just more of like a discomfort in my chest, right? Like I feel like it's heavier for me to breathe. Like I'm spending more energy breathing, and it's like in the back of my head now. Like I can feel it, like some kind of alarm going off. Like, dude, it's hard to breathe for you. And I've been noticing, like, the more like that's the mental game. Like I'm convinced, like at least like half of the asthma situation is mental. Like I don't know, that's my particular experience, but like it just is like the moment you like it's slightly hard for you to breathe. The moment you notice it, you're fucked. You just cannot do it. Like can't do it because you will cycle in your head like, oh my God, shit. And the worst part is, what if you forgot your inhaler? Then you're fucked. You're like, damn. So I know what happens next. Like, let's say it's harder for me to breathe like 10%. And I notice it. And I'm like, shit, I don't have my inhaler. And I know what follows next. And it just follows next. It gets harder and harder and harder for you to breathe. There's no like battle I'm fighting. I'm not running. I'm not doing anything. Right? And I had like a couple of like terrible events where it's like, I thought I could die. Like I thought I could genuinely die because like it just gets worse and worse and worse to the point where like there's nothing going inside. I'm like that. It's like I'm breathing through a fucking tiniest straw ever, and it's like my fucking hands in the end turned blue, and I'm like freaking out. Like, what the fuck? I couldn't walk. I couldn't like. I'm trying to go to the hospital. I'm barely fucking moving. It's like scary. Like at that time, it was scary. And it's like the worst part is when it's just okay. You can thug it out, I guess. Like you can just mentally like make a stance where it's like, okay, I don't have an inhaler. I do not have access to the hospital right now. That's happened many times to me. Like it just many times happened. Like where I had to thug it out. I was afraid to tell my parents, or like just couldn't do it. Like let's say I was in a trip. Like I was in a fucking I don't know, like train. What the fuck can I do? Like my pump ended. There's no hospital. What am I supposed to do? I can't die. And I will not die, of course. But like I just have to thug it out. And it's like the worst mental torture ever. Because it's like you cannot like, we're breathing, we never focus on breathing, right? In the sense like you never consciously realize that you're breathing unless you specifically like direct your attention towards it. There, when you're during an asthma attack, all you think about is breathing and how hard it is, and it's like you're like, okay, I'll just not notice it. I'll just I'll just stuck it out, and it will get better. And it's like if I'll just not think about it, maybe it'll get better. It won't. The only thing that ever helped me is like being engaged in something so much that it like partially like I don't know, I guess something directs somewhere, or something like your attention goes there elsewhere, and it gets easier for you to breathe. Like that's the only thing that ever helped me. Like in my childhood, for example, when I didn't have my pump with me, I would ask my friends to play like their PSPs, and when I would play PSP or like Game Boy or whatever, I swear to God, like I would get so into it that I could feel it like I don't know. Like I could feel that it's easier for me to breathe. Not entirely, but like, yeah. So anyway, whatever. All this stuff, all this crap, and it's like, people always told me like, dude, it's okay. You'll get over it. Like it's as if it's not a real thing. It's like whatever. It's like you get older, you grow out of it, and I never really bought it because like, dude, I'm like 25. It's still there, and it's like I still have to use pump like 3 to 5 times per day. That's just not good, Yeah. So, and I feel like I caught a break, and I caught a break for a long enough time to conclude that like I didn't necessarily win over asthma completely, but like I barely use the pump anymore. I don't need it anymore. I leave my house without it, and I don't even think of me not taking it, because always, whenever I would leave the home, whenever I would go anywhere, whenever I would like, it just doesn't matter what I'm doing. I always have to carry the thing, because then you never know, right? And it's like right now, even I could be talking, and it's like I could start feeling like that. I could eat something. And again, I understand like the logics behind it, like allergic reaction triggers this, that. Yeah. So yeah, like I don't know what exactly led me to like almost non-existent symptoms, because again, I'm not a runner. I don't like to run, but I also am not planning to be like unfit or unhealthy. Like I go to gym. I try to eat decent, like and by the way, like even if I want to eat junk food, like I just cannot eat it. In a sense, like it will get like I'll feel worse. I like it, and I will eat it occasionally, but it's like I can feel my whole body like just feeling terrible, and like that will definitely trigger the shit. So, 2 things that helped me in my asthma. In winning over my asthma. Thing number 1, keto diet. I mean, so there is logic, and I mean that might that might be like a little odd, and people don't like when I tell them that. For some reason, like there's this fucking veil of mystery, or like some kind of, I don't know, people just don't like when you tell them that you're on keto diet, even though, like, why would you give a shit? Like, why would you give a flying fuck about what I'm eating? Like, usually I think that's people who are insecure about their own shit, and then they're fat fucks, whatever. Okay, regardless. So keto diet, in a nutshell, it just functions. I use it to lose weight, right? So I was 95 at a certain point. I got really fucking fat, and I didn't like it at all. And I was like all swollen and everything. And I just decided to like, let me try this, because it's like your water gets flushed. It's harder for you to stay in ketosis, where it's like you eat heavier food and then you slowly digest it. So you eat less on average, yada, yada. And actually, like, it helped me so much. Like, I'm just so, like, lucky that I discovered keto diet, because you just hold less water, and swelling is technically, like, powered by water, if that makes sense. Like, again, it's not, like, rigorous science I'm talking about here. Is that just my personal experience and my own thoughts? I didn't really read into it. But basically, keto diet removes all carbs almost, and I think carbs were the only thing that always fucked me up. They somehow like bring the swelling, they somehow like make me like short of breath or anything. So like, yeah, keto diet, like, let's say if I was using on normal diet on regular day, I was using my inhaler like let's say 3 to 6 times on average per day. On keto diet, I use it 3 times a week. That's like a drastic drop. Right. And another thing is mewing. So I don't know, again, so if this video finds asthma people, if you have had like severe asthma exposure, or like prolonged periods of asthma in your life, most likely you have developed shallow breathing, rounded shoulders, like hunched posture, you're slouching. Maybe you have anterior pelvic tilt. Maybe your core might be weak, right? You might be mouth breathing. You might be snoring at night. Your mouth might be also always dry, right? And then you're not breathing by your nose, and you might have a deviated septum. I do have that, for example, right? So it's like you might even have flat foot. It's really fucking funny how, like, oh, you have asthma, you might have flat foot. It doesn't compute. I mean, it does, though. Like, you just hear me out. So, like, everything is kind of interconnected in our body. Like, it's ridiculous, but it is. So I decided, like, why don't I mew? I mean, I want to look good. I want my jaw to be like good and everything. Because I looked at myself like from the side and like that, somehow looking. And I was like, what the hell? So I decided to just like try something new, and I'm like addicted to trying new things, I guess. Yeah. So So the thing with mewing is it's not just merely you keeping your tongue on the palate, right? It's not that thing at all, actually. The thing is to, like, the tongue, this thing that you think it is, it's not necessarily that. It's, you have a huge root, like a big muscle there, which is, if you're mouth breather, if you are like shallow breather, whatever, it's always like there, like it's always like down. So the thing with the tongue, you can move it here, but like your root will still be down, you know what I mean? So the thing is, for the root to be like this, then the tongue automatically will stay on the palate, right? So, and I would always try to like keep my tongue and yada yada, and it's difficult. And then only after like I don't know, like after 6-7 months, I've noticed that I gained this ability. I gained this ability to like stick the root of my tongue up and like I don't know, like anteriorly somehow. I don't know how to explain it. It's like really difficult, and it's like a really odd feeling which I never felt before. But it's like it feels normal, you know. The thing with mewing again is that it's not about this thing at all. Actually, it's about you as a whole. Like it's your posture. If you wanna have this, then you somehow, like I don't know how again, but it's like automatically you would want to put your this right the like you would want to put your head backwards a little bit, right? Because like I would always be like this, like slouching in front, right, on the phone and everything, like always like this. So you want to be like automatically somehow like it just brings you back. Then again, if you are doing this here, then it's like your shoulders also want to be like back, right? Not necessarily like super back, but you know what I mean, right? Then again, I had this issue with my one shoulder was rounded like this, and then another one was compensating with my rib here, so that whenever I would move my arm, it's actually that rib facility. I don't know how, like whatever. So it's like my shit just not working properly. Like all these years of abuse of my own by myself, you know. It just brought me so much like struggle and like it's genuinely ridiculous. Just my body is not like proper or something. So I decided to start to do like wall angels, you know, like when you stand to the wall and you're like straight like this and you like lift your hands up and down. So that helped me with my rounded shoulder, and at least like now I can stand straight. Because like I look at my pictures like from I don't know, like last year even, I'm like this everywhere, like this. And it's like, it might look okay, but like, I'm like just genuinely like this. That's just crazy stuff, you know? So, and then, okay, again, and if you want to pull your shoulders backward, but by the virtue of this, then your shoulder, no, what are they called? They're shoulder blades, I think. Then those things behind you, they would want to be like together and down, like this, you know? So it's like, to me now, I don't feel like an exertion doing that, right? It feels like relatively normal. But then again, if you do that, then somehow your chest wants to be over your pelvic thing, over your pelvis directly like this. It doesn't want to be front, it doesn't want to be back, because then the center of gravity shifts or something like that. So like then the thing is, I also have an anterior pelvic tilt, right? And what happens is, was always bothering me because I have this like in the front, like in the stomach, whatever, like where the abs are supposed to be, like in the below the navel, below the belly button. I have like a fold of like fat, you know, like so it's like I'm like this, but then I have like this thing which doesn't go away anywhere. And I was always insecure, always like I hated it. I was like, oh my god, dude, like. Every other guy has fucking flat stomach and like whatever, and they're huge and whatever. And I have this fucking thing. I can't even like, I don't know. You got my point, right? So the thing is with the, what's it called again? Pouch belly. The thing with that is that it's not necessarily because of fat. I mean, yes, fat distribution plays a role, sure. And also I have a female fat distribution situation, which is like odd. You know, like I don't have a lot of fat here. I have a lot of fat in my thighs and butt, which is like ridiculous. But anyway, yeah. So the pouch belly situation is that it's not necessarily about like fat per se, but more about like the weakness of your abs. And that does make sense somehow, because like your shit like behind is like somehow locked, or the muscles are short or something like that, so they're pulling back, and then that makes your like front to be like this and like that. Just like it's weird stuff. So basically your abs are extremely weak, and your pelvic floor is weak, and your posterior, your glutes are weak, your hamstrings are weak, so something like that. Like the most important parts for stability for like core are weak. Another thing that I've noticed is that just like 2 days ago, that you actually apparently have to engage your core like a lot of times, like majority of the time, I guess, because I don't know, you cannot see, I'm not going to show, but like these, there you have what, like ribs, ends of ribs, like that. So my ribs were always like that a little bit, like the ends of the ribs were always like that, and I thought it's just like a genetic thing. Apparently, fucking not, because if I feel that and like I kind of clench it like that, my shoulder stopped clicking. This is just ridiculous stuff. Like, nobody told me that. I tried to watch videos and figure it out online. Couldn't find it. Just by myself, I found it out how to, like, I swear to God, like, my fucking left shoulder blade was always hurting. My muscles were always straining. I couldn't find out why. I thought maybe my poor posture contributes. This thing. Because for some reason, my left rib was always flared more than the right rib. Somehow shit just pulled each other or something or whatever. And then my shoulder was always clicking. And then, like, for example, like I'm doing it right now without my engaging my core, and I can feel the click. Like, it's very minor now, but before it was like really hard clicking. So it's like it's really minor now, and now I'm like engaging my core, fucking nothing. I cannot believe it. Like, it feels like such a win. I swear to God. Like, it feels like such I genuinely, I'm telling you, like, it's blissful. I'm like, holy shit, I figured it out. My own body, by the way. My own body, I figured out, and I like, my shit stopped clicking there. My shit stopped straining there just by the virtue of me by engaging my core. So yeah. All that explanation for what? That somehow helped me with my asthma. Because if you do all that stuff, if you keep your mouth, if your tongue there, then you cannot breathe by your mouth, actually. Because it's like the tongue kind of blocks the airway. Yeah, at large. Right? So it's like, so your body starts to breathe by a nose. And if you have deviated septum, if you have allergies, if you have asthma, like, breathing by nose is like a task on its own, right? So your body just stops putting effort. You just start breathing by mouth. And I've read somewhere, I didn't read any research papers on that. I don't know any biomedical like stuff on it. But from what I understand and I conceive is that shallow, rapid breathing contributes to asthma the most. If you breathe small, like short amount, you get what I'm saying, right? And it's like extremely shallow, and you start breathing by your chest, not by your stomach, and that's like leading to a bunch of other shit also. So it's like everything is fucking interconnected. I swear to God. So like by wanting to fix my rounded shoulder, I somehow fixed my asthma just by the virtue of me following the next step. I didn't even figure it out. So if you do all that stuff, your body wants to return to normal position on its own. So you close your mouth, and then your body wants to start to breathe by nose. And if you breathe by nose, then your air, which comes in, is like more moist. Then you breathe longer. And another one also is that there's a sympathetic nervous system activation when you breathe fast and shallow. It means like you kind of signal that you're in danger to your body. So that also like contributes to a large portion of, like, for example, insomnias, overall like neuroticism, depression maybe. Like, at least in me, again, I'm just kind of spinning it here. But just somehow everything is interconnected, guys. And so if you just shut your mouth, your body will be forced to breathe through nose, and then your body will breathe slower and proper through nose, and then everything will work together, and you'll stop choking. And I stopped choking. I swear to God, I just don't use it. I don't use it anymore. I don't need it. I don't think about it. So keto and breathing. Like, that's just insane. That's crazy. Like, imagine medical establishment. Like, my honest reaction. All these fucking scientists, and for what? Again, okay, sure. That's just my personal experience. I did not go in depth. I didn't read the other people's opinions on it, whatever. That worked for me, so hallelujah, like, hell yeah, I'm happy about it, and I just thought I'd share it with people who might find it relevant, might find it somehow interesting, because, and again, I didn't start doing it in attempt to fix my asthma. I kind of accepted it. Fuck it, whatever. I'll use pump till I die. Keto I started using to lose weight, and then the wall exercises and everything just to have a straighter posture and not look like a loser. Somehow not looking like a loser fixed my asthma. So food for thought, guys. Food for thought. All right, thank you very much. I'll see you.